Today, we're going to be talking about how the Islamic Republic, head of their military, just threatened to strike all US bases in the region and beyond, even into Europe. We'll get into that, the statement that they just released, and then we'll tell you why they made that statement because it's not a good choice for them to do such a thing, as you guys might think. They're forced to act. Now, why are they forced to act? We'll get into that. It has something to do with the oil. The same reason why they're turning around Chinese ships, even though China is one of their closest allies. And so, let us begin with the statement made from the head of the Islamic Republic's military. We translated into English for you guys. So, this is Major General Ali Abdullahi. He's the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Islamic Republic. And he said that the Persian Gulf Arab countries, so countries like Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, etc., just want you guys to know that nothing is hidden from our eyes, and it's unlikely that the sheer amount of US equipment and troops in your countries is unknown to you. We know that you're helping them, and we're warning you that this assistance is tantamount to participation with US military forces. So, what this sounds like is we know what you guys are up to. There's no way you don't know what you're doing because this is your country and there's thousands of US troops and planes and etc. We're going to hit you if you don't kick them out. And this is the most urgent piece because, Armin, have they put out an official letter like this before, threatening all the countries of the Middle East? Because it's usually like, oh, our brothers, our Muslim brothers, we're just hitting the bases on their land. We're not hitting the Arabs themselves. But this time, this feels a little different. This feels like they're going to hit the host countries themselves.
To me, this is another evidence alongside everything that we talked about, Ali, that they're getting ready to hit the Arab countries hard. Everything suggests that, Mushtaba putting Mohsen Rezai in charge in the National Security Council. This new thing that all the rumors that we're hearing among the jihadi people that we need to go invade, we need to take this land. The all the talks about our pilots being taken by Qatar hostage. We need to liberate them. New revisionist history of Bahrain being given up by the Shah, Mohammed Reza Shah, and we need to take it back because he gave it away. And all of that, like all of this seems to be setting, we told you guys that President Trump has very effectively isolated the Islamic Republic. And in a few months, if it keeps going like this, in just a few months, everything is going to, like, the crap is going to hit the fan, like, really hard. We are already seeing big signs of economic devastation in Iran, and this is just the beginning. So, so they're desperate to do anything to make this economic isolation costly for Americans, and the only significant thing they could do right now is to hit the Arab countries, and I think this is laying the groundworks to make that happen. And by the way, look at the new title, because you guys remember when we show you the sheet, the Durka sheet, the bingo sheet of all the positions of people within the Islamic Republic. Abdullahi, he used to be the head of Khatam al-Anbiya, which was the most important institution within the IRGC, but now his title has changed to the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, because Khatam al-Anbiya and the Chief of Staff of Armed Forces, the Armed Forces, the institution that unites all the armed forces, that was an institution separate from Khatam al-Anbiya, and those two have merged. So basically, Ali Abdullahi is now in charge of coordinating all the armed forces of the Islamic Republic, which is IRGC, the Artesh, the Basij, and Faraja, which is kind of like the police. Plus, he's also in charge of the most important economic institution of IRGC. So Abdullahi has turned into one of the most important people within the Islamic Republic. He was already, but now he's very high. So I would say that after Mujtaba Khamenei, the most important military person right now, might not be Vahidi anymore. It might be Abdullahi, or maybe they're kind of equal. But Abdullahi is more important military. I think the only person higher than him when it comes to military command will be Mujtaba Khamenei if he's alive.
So we have a huge target on this guy's back now. Now, what they've done throughout this conflict is something big, something that's going to rewrite a bit of the lines here. Previously, a lot of these countries in the Middle East were happy with the Islamic Republic being there. They got a stupid, weak Islamic Republic. Now that it's thrashing out like an injured animal and it's hit all the countries around it, they start finding their own alliances against the Islamic Republic, or they go more towards Israel or the United States of America, like the UAE has. Other countries like Saudi Arabia will, instead of trying to rely on the US and Israel, forge new alliances with Pakistan and Turkey. The lines have been rewritten. You guys might have seen a few months from now, maybe 5 months is when the war kind of ended, the 40-day war, about then. Since then, there hasn't been anything too grand. It's been preparation for another war that's on the horizon at the moment. Here's why it's going to happen. Take a look at this picture. This is the strike range of the Islamic Republic in the Middle East if it uses its more conventional missiles. If it wanted to use its more extended range missiles, if you guys take a look at the outside of the map, there's a dotted yellow line. That dotted yellow line represents the range, the maximum range, albeit probably not too accurate, that the Islamic Republic can strike a target. And yes, that stretches all the way up to London, for example, or Madrid, Paris, Berlin. It does go all the way there. So, and that's something on purpose. Why would they not do that? It's more deterrence for them. So, in that red area, that's where most of the strikes are going to happen in the next war. And the US is going to be perfectly content with perhaps not providing as much protection to countries that did not help it or side with it. And we see that President Trump is not shy of doing things like that. He's reducing his military exercise presence in South Korea just because South Korea didn't agree to help with the Islamic Republic. And
And also because
yeah,
they need their stuff.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.